Are you getting frustrated with what to feed a teenager who's always hungry? Everybody knows that teenagers have a huge appetite. It seems like you need to feed them constantly to satisfy their hunger. It's even more difficult where teenagers who struggle with their weight truly want to make changes, like cut down on junk food or stop overeating, and they can't. There's frustration, isolation, stress, and that's why I decided to create a recipe collection of 30 easy and healthy meals for teenagers. They're all high in protein to satisfy your teenager's hunger, and they can all be ready in less than 30 minutes. If you want to grab a free copy, go to lifestyleforteens.com/recipes.
This is the Lifestyle and Weight Loss for Teens podcast. If you're a mom and want to help your child who is struggling to lose weight, you are in the right place. If you are looking for healthy lifestyle tips, Dr. Gorgery is here to help you understand the science around safe weight loss in teens and children. Because what works for adult weight loss is not always the best for children. This podcast is for educational purposes only. Dr. Gorgery does not provide medical, psychological, or nutrition therapy advice. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat any health problems without consulting your own medical practitioner. And now, your host, Dr. Jenny Gorgery.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Lifestyle and Weight Loss for Teens podcast. This is Dr. Jenny Gorgery, and on today's episode, I decided to focus on school lunches. This is because I see a lot of teenagers that come to see me and they were normal weight when they were younger, and then when they started going to school, which is when they started to have school lunches, you see a trend towards gaining a lot of weight. So a lot of kids have breakfast and lunch at school. So that's roughly 50% of their daily nutrition comes from whatever they're choosing at school. They're spending at school almost a third of their time, and having nutritious, healthy food at school is one potential area of improvement that can make a big change. In fact, there have been a lot of studies and a lot of research to investigate how changing the school environment and how changing the choices that kids make at school can improve their health, can improve their weight. And I want to just briefly mention one recent study that was published in one of the best journals in pediatrics. This study was published in JAMA Pediatrics, one of the best journals in pediatrics, and it looked at the effect of implementing a school program that targets better nutrition in terms of how that can improve the kids' outcomes. What the researchers did is they looked more than 14,000 kids between the ages of 5 to 18 from years 2005 to 2020, right? So it had more than 15 years of data, and they looked what was the BMI of the kids before and after implementing an HSFKA program. Now, if you don't know what BMI is, I invite you to go and listen to episode 1, where I talk about how can we calculate a teenager's or a kid's normal weight for their height. And that will give you an idea also of how much weight your teen needs to lose to be in a healthy weight. But in simple words, BMI is a simple tool that researchers use to evaluate whether an intervention that they're doing is actually working and whether it has results or not. So the researchers in this study, they looked what was the BMI or what was the weight for the height in more than 14,000 kids before and after this HSFK law. And what is this law? Basically, This was the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act that encouraged kids and schools to have more fruits, vegetables, and grains, particularly for those kids that they are poor and they cannot afford their own lunch. Kids started to have more of these healthy options instead of having just the typical school lunch, which is in the United States often consists of burger, pizza, cheese toast, a lot of sugary stuff, right? So the researchers found that after implementing this program, the kids' weight for height improved. And this is like talks about how policy implementation is very important and how changing our environment where our kids live is very important so they don't have to fight to make a good choice when they're not surrounded all by unhealthy choices. And why is this important for our kids? As I said, because kids spend in their school more than 50% or around 50% of their calories that they're eating can come from school if they're having their breakfast and lunch. So I invite you to have a conversation with your kid about what are the choices they're making when they are having their breakfast and their lunch at school. You can also, as a parent, have a conversation with the school where you can go and ask them to review the menu and whether there can be changes that can be applied if they're not offered enough of those healthier. Now, to take this one step further, if you are able to do homemade lunches, then you have absolute control of what goes on the kids' lunchbox. And there was another great study that was done in Australia where they taught parents how to make healthier lunch for their kids. And it showed that without adding more expenses, without increasing the cost of the lunch, the kids were eating 150 calories less per week than what they used to. But it's not only about the calories, it's really about the quality of the food and how healthier options can affect the kids' metabolism and can affect their hormone balances, particularly for teenagers when they go into puberty. Common misconceptions that we have when it comes to preparing lunch. I don't have time to prepare lunch. I don't know what to put in there. My kid is not going to eat that lunch. If I put cheese, it's not going to be good because it's not refrigerated. Or the opposite, if I put something that is hot, it's not going to be good because they only like it hot. In this study that I mentioned in Australia, the parents got educated on how they can prepare lunch more expensive. You don't have to spend too much time, and you can teach the kids. And the kids actually, if they're older, can take responsibility creating their own lunch at school. So it doesn't have to be even mom's or dad's job to prepare the school lunch. In simple words, the healthier school lunch, you should follow the same concept we follow for what is a healthy dinner. Have some protein, have some vegetable, have some fruit. And for snack, you can have a healthier type of snack. Now, it doesn't have to be every day that it is the perfect meal. Like even if you can start with 2 or 3 school lunches prepared by home at the beginning, or even preparing just one school lunch is also big progress, right? And then you can start to slowly make healthier swaps. And what do we healthier swaps? Like, for example, instead of having juice, you can swap that with water. Instead of having chocolate, or instead of having donuts, or instead of having plain sugar for snack, you can substitute with peanut butter and grapes. or you can have Greek yogurt, or you can have cheese stick, or you can have roasted chicken. Again, you don't have to do this all at once, and you can slowly introduce the new options, the new swaps. And as kids get used to it, then it becomes more of a habit. And another thing that I hear is that some teenagers may feel uncomfortable having lunch from home when everybody else is going to cafeteria. So again, have a conversation, discuss why it's important, why it's a healthier option, and why we want to be healthier. And also talk with the teacher. Is this something that they can talk about in school? They can maybe reward more students that take initiative and prepare one school lunch from home every week, or they can have bring your own lunch from school day once a week, or something like that. Something that slowly introduces the idea that having a healthier school lunch is the better option, and it doesn't have to be all every day the cafeteria. So again, the take-home message for you today is that if you are a teenager, just make a goal to have one fruit or one vegetable with your lunch at least one time a week, or at least you can try with 2 or 3, wherever you are right now. If you're already doing it, that's amazing. Just try to add even more. And for parents, you can try to buy less of those unhealthy snacks and offer more of these protein snacks that I mentioned. Cut back also on giving sodas and juices, and educate kids about those things and how it's better to substitute with water, and also initiate a conversation at the next parent-teacher association conference or with the teacher school, where they can ask to have rotating meals where they offer veggies and they offer fruits, or they even encourage the kids to have lunch from home. So that's all I had for you today. I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.
If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, I invite you to come check out the LIFT program. It's Dr. Gorgory's 12-week coaching program for teens and their moms, where we take all this information, we apply it to your daily life, and we work together so your teenager learns how to create a healthy lifestyle so they can feel happier, more confident, less stressed, and love their body again. Visit the website at lifestyleforteens.com and click on the Work With Me and free resources to learn more about this program and get free help to start this journey right away. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Lifestyle and Weight Loss for Teens.